Can you believe it? It was -6 during the nighttime. Yeah, well, I didn't believe it as well until we just found out that the water is frozen. But he told me it was -6. I did not believe the guy. But what's up, guys? I have another one of those welding projects for you. As you can see, I have my welding pajamas on. The title basically already says what we need to do, and if this video gets out, then I guess we achieved at least something. At the moment, everything's a mystery. But basically, I need to have an attachment, some type of a grader, so I could do the smoothing part of any land work. And for example, the area we cleared up a bit of time ago, there's just well, I got most of the thing pretty smooth, but there's still a lot of unevenness going on, and it would be great if it was a bit better, so we could try using the lawn tractor on it in order to maintain the lawn. I mean, we have like a lot of these uneven banks all over the place, and I don't really have like a good tool in order to get a smooth finish overall. And so far I've used Joseph and Bobcat and also the mini excavator, the Yanmar. And I would say out of those three options, the Yanmar probably works the best. That kind of gets the job done, I guess, but it's just so slow, and I figured doing like larger areas is not worth it. Maybe there's a better option. And the Bobcat is pretty useless when it comes to smoothing, unless you have like a proper smoothing attachment for that guy. But with a standard blade, it's just not gonna do much of anything. And Joseph, well, Joseph's the king, without a doubt. Guy will move a lot of material in a single pass, no question there. However, the surface quality is me. I think the best practice would be to go over the large area with Joseph first, and then use the box grader to do the final smoothing. I think that would be the best option overall. And at first I figured I'm just gonna buy something. Let's do the lazy way in order to fix that situation. It's not really expensive as well. I mean, I can get like a locally manufactured box grader. They even make these in Estonia now for about $1,000. That will be 2 meters wide, so that's actually pretty perfect for the new Blue, which I want to use it on. I think currently the wheelbase of this tractor is about 1.8 or 1.9. It's also adjustable, so you can take the wheels out a bit further or put them inwards. And I figured like a 2-meter attachment would be perfect for this tractor, because it would cover the wheelbase as well. And that thing was about $1,000, so not that a lot, honestly. But then again, I figured, why spend $1,000 on something that maybe we can build ourselves while spending no money whatsoever? I mean, overall it's a pretty simple build, right? There's like a couple of plates, some cutting teeth up front, a couple of side plates, a rear side plate, and then just weld all that crap together. Now, I did look over my current pile of nonsense over here, and I may actually have something that might work for that. I have like a piece of attachment there that's like already, that will go to the 3-point hitch setup on the tractor, so that's already finished. And you know, for the plate, I have a giant circle of steel over there. Now that's a bit thick. I think it was like 15 or something millimeters, but whatever. Thicker is stronger, right? Won't bend it. Plus we can probably find something else from here as well, which we might need. So I think we can actually make this project work without buying anything. Just use what I have here, and also from my current steel pile, which is a leftover as well from previous projects. So if we pull this off, this entire box grader will be built with zero investment. Now I'm not counting the consumables for the electronics, I mean welding equipment and stuff like that. Also electricity, I'm not gonna account for that, just for the material costs. And this is actually something that I wanted to build last year. I did have some ideas about maybe dragging something behind the tractor. For example, I saw a video on YouTube where this dude was dragging a Joseph's track behind the tractor. It was also shaped in like a V pattern. And I guess that will work as well, right? Just drag a giant track behind the tractor, and the weight of the track will relatively smooth out the ground, but maybe that's not the best option. I'm not really sure. What do you guys think about that idea? Obviously I don't have like a spare track for Joseph to even try that out, and I don't think I'm gonna try to find one as well, because if that doesn't work, then I have like a lot of dead weight on the property again. And another idea I had was buy like a piece of heavy-duty I-beam and then just put that behind the tractor. But I think the box grader idea is actually the best out of three. So we're gonna go with that. I think it's gonna be a pretty easy build overall if I have all the parts, that is. So now let's just kind of get to work. Shouldn't be that difficult of a project.
You want me to use it?
Man, why is there so much wood here? If you guys don't remember, then these came with Joseph. These are the side plates for the guy. I removed them because I don't think I need them ever. Haven't need them so far, I mean. It's kind of big though, maybe. Maybe. No, I've never really built anything like this before, but it doesn't look like it's too hard. We just need to build a box and then add a couple of other things. No, for the blade, I did look, maybe. Bizarre. You need any help? Now, for the blade, I'm planning to use S355 steel plate. I have a couple of leftovers from the Grappler project right over there. So I think I need two of them. One on one side, the other on the other side. Now I know that Hardox is the preferred option here, but for light duty use, like I'm planning to use it, S355 works just as well. Plus, I wouldn't need to buy that Hardox plate because, dude, my local hardware store does have them. And one 2 meter long piece is like 300 euros, and I would need to buy two of them, so spending 600 bucks on just a couple of plates makes this entire project not worth it, and would make a lot more sense just to go buy the thing for $1,000, right? So for me, we're gonna go with the 355. I think that's more than enough for me, shouldn't be a problem, and everything else should be pretty straightforward. have the second piece. Maybe that piece. Whoops. By the way, this is the place I get all my steel from at the moment. BA Metal. Oh, ew. That's the place. The guy sells me steel for about 900 bucks per ton. Doesn't really matter what profile I pick, the price is the same. I can buy a ton of I-beams or a ton of box tubes. Price will be the same. The only difference is if you want to buy different strengths or grades rather. So 355 is going to be a bit more expensive, but surprisingly not that much. I think the difference was only maybe like a couple of 20 or 30 bucks or something like that. I wonder how much this gap needs to be. 30, 40 centimeters. Doesn't seem that big. Right, about 40 I would say. I think the wider the gap, the more material will fit inside the box, but also the more horsepower you need in order to pull the box with the material, right? And considering the new blue is but it doesn't really have any horsepower. I would say it more has like donkey power, so that's pretty useless. But I think we can go maybe with like half a meter, do it a bit wider. That should be pretty okay. I love that tool. I think I can't actually trust this red piece of garbage. It seems like it's a little bent. I'm not really sure. It doesn't look straight. Plus, you know, whoever welded those parts on, they are completely crooked. That's not 90 degrees whatsoever. It looks like that tubing is about 3. I think that's a bit short. I mean, not thick enough was the word I was looking for. This actually may be a problem. I mean, maybe we'll hit something hard, you know, and it's just gonna pull like a chunk out of that tubing. Probably need to add some reinforcements just in case. This is why I don't really want to buy stuff which are made today, because it's so chunk, you know. I'd rather just make things a lot stronger, and then they won't break for no reason. Now, for example, I don't even know what 3mm tubing means, bro. The minimal I buy is 5, and I even consider that pretty thin. Why is this shit so heavy? I haven't even added anything yet. Drop test. Okay, so basically I have no idea what to do, but let's do something. I think we should do the chisels first, you know, the parts which will cut or break up the ground before the smoothing part. And the buildings, basically. I just have a bit better access at the moment. If I do that box here, then it's gonna get in the way. Now for the chisel part itself, technically I have like 3 options. Either I go buy excavator teeth and use those, do some type of a mount so I could install those. 2, I just use flat steel like the one in the picture. But 3, I figured maybe I can use these things up. You guys remember these things, right? The game with the grappler build project for the Volvo. That thing over there. Yeah, this thing. I built that thing, and it's the coolest thing ever. But the pins came from those holes. We kind of cut them off. We did not need them on this project. You know, that's not some ordinary steel. It doesn't want to bend whatsoever. It's like forklift fork type of steel, basically. You know, I put that thing over there, tried to bend it cold, and the thing just exploded. Sadly, I survived. But dude, that tells us that this is not ordinary steel. This doesn't want to bend at all. I needed to heat it up red hot in order to actually bend it. And I figured this is like a perfect, you know, chisel or whatever that thing is called, which breaks up the ground, you know, material for it, right? This thing is probably very strong and it will last forever. And I think I have enough in order to make that collection. A couple of bigger ones as well. 5. 8 pieces, I think, yeah. Eight pieces of that super durable steel. Let's call it spring steel. They're all kind of worn down unevenly though. Some more than others. But I think the length is there. Like 50 something. That should be pretty good. No, it would be best if these guys were adjustable as well. But they're square, well, at least partially. Plus, not a perfect square, it's like a cone-shaped square. That seems to fit pretty good. I would need to just grind it a bit more. Then I could make it adjustable as well to a degree, I guess. Because it would be great if these things were adjustable. Actually, I think that's like a requirement. Oh yeah. Niipidi äkki keevitada ja... Maybe I'm not gonna put anything on the sides. I'm gonna have that wall here anyway, right? Maybe it's not required there. I think this should be strong enough, right? Now without the blade it might just kind of break through that box tube if it gets stuck behind like a root or rock or something. But this should keep it from breaking, I guess. Now to adjust the thing, I think I'm gonna keep this as like my base level, and as the chisels wear away, then I can just keep grinding this round stock down further to make it go lower. I think this is gonna last for a really long time, and I don't think that's gonna wear away overnight or after a couple of uses. So I probably don't need to even do that for a while, but that's my option at least, I guess. I think I don't even need to bend these guys, you know, like that. This should work as is as well, I'm guessing. I think I'm gonna leave it like that at the moment, but I need to make sure that they're all the same length at least. So I think this was my shortest piece, so I need to make the other ones the same length overall. I guess I could add like a little knot on top and further secure it down like that, right? Maybe it's gonna start like going up and down while you're grading the ground. So yeah, that's actually a good idea. Let's add a knot there as well. I noticed that whining sound. I think that happens if you try to drill like really hard steel. But luckily we don't need to drill a lot. Just a little bit. I think that's pretty good. Now I just need to do it 7 more times. Yippee skippy, I guess. S-W and a weird looking B. I know, I never heard of that before. Maybe it stands for super wide, you know, booty. Neli, viis, kuus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See ei ole see. Perfect. I need more counter. Counterweight that! My man. But anyway, guys, I think that part came out pretty okay. And, currently, I'm not sure if I wanna bend those. Yeah, the attachment will be going that way, so bend them like that, or leave them straight, or weld some type of extra plate here. I'm not really sure about that at the moment. I think I want to try it out with this straight setup first, and then decide later what I'm gonna do with the sticks. But right now I think I'm gonna leave them like that. They should work. I mean, the only purpose I think of these things is to break up the ground a bit, right? Or catch some uneven stuff like roots and stuff like that. I'm not really 100% sure, but I'm assuming it's something in that direction. Also, I'm kind of glad I got to use them up. Nothing's wasted, right? Something always fits somewhere. I think we can do the next part now. Let's do the next part now. 1, 2, 43 siis umbes. Oh, by the way, guys, I have some amazing news. I finally ordered up that dry cut saw, the corded version. Basically the same thing as this, but without the battery. I really liked how I could cut angles, you know, on the vise with the thing. So much better than putting on the chin diaper and using the cut-off disc. I would say this is like actually pretty good if you want to cut sheet metal, for example. Anything up to like 5mm, but you don't want to go anything higher than that with the battery version. I think the Milwaukee MC metal cutting saw, MCC 66, is a perfect tool for anything thicker. Now, I'm not sure, but maybe it has like a different model name in the States, but in Europe it's Milwaukee MCC 66. And back when I was building the grappler for the Volvo, I wanted to buy one as well, but it was just kind of expensive. But just yesterday I looked at the price, and it's being sold on a really nice discount right now. It's only $550 versus $800, which it usually retails at. So I placed my order this morning, and I should get it in a couple of days. I actually can't wait for that. It's gonna help me out a lot. I mean, it's like basically a mobile version of this guy, and this guy cuts steel so well, so that's gonna be a very useful tool. I mean, at start I didn't really like this thing, but honestly this is a very good tool as well. Now I don't regret buying it whatsoever. GoPro Capture. Käib juba või? No tore, no väga hea, käi edasi siis. But anyway, the next part should be pretty straightforward, I think. We can put it down on paper. Or a piece of steel. So I got the sticks up front, which we just installed. Then we have the frame. On top of that we have the beam. Got that part over there, and now we need to make the box coming down. I think we need to add like another box down there, which is flat with the sticks. And from there we can add one blade to one side and another blade to the other side, like that. That should be doable, right? I mean, one blade will be cutting into the ground, or the sticks will be smoothing or cutting up the ground, then that blade will be doing more cutting, I guess, and the back blade will be smoothing. It needs to have two blades, at least according to some information online. I think it's gonna be kind of heavy though, if I add two blades down there. Man, might need Joseph to haul this thing around. But Andres, Joseph doesn't have a 3-point hitch. Dramatic pause. 10 tons of I-beams, please. Order sent. I guess that's another project that we need to do. I think I need to empty this box soon. Can you guys remember how long this took to actually fill up? I think that's about 3 years there. Rate my clamp, guys. The possible rating is between 1 and 1. I think I'm pretty safe. Mida sa lahti lasid vutsi, ma ei saa aru. Mis sul viga on, ma ei saa aru, mingi munn oled või? Seems to go pretty good. But then it didn't. Kuradi counterweight ka ei ole enam piisav. Oh, where's the gearless hammer? What? Oh, we use that. You're right. Relax, bro. You'll just crush my little welding cart if you go under. About the blade though, man, this thing is gonna be very heavy. Just imagine this piece, but 2 of them and 2 meters long. Man, I think the new Blue won't be able to even lift this attachment up. I mean, we haven't even added the side skirts, right? Plus we probably need to install some plating there as well. Maybe it's fine though. The new Blue should be able to lift about 600 kilos. I don't think this guy is gonna be any heavier than that, but can it drag 600 kilos on the ground? That's the real question. Guess we'll find out later. Mis siia läheb? I think this might work pretty good. Put that piece there. Then a couple of these pieces, I think 4. Build like a bolt or threaded rod on it. The blade will have counter holes, which will go into the threaded rod part. And then you can lock the blade down, plus adjust it further down if it wears away with time. I think this is a pretty good option. Maybe we can actually skip that one. Directly mount it over there. Aga siis angle muutub ju, jah, et kui sa yeah, I think actually we can't do that. Might work for a while, but if I need to start adjusting the thing, it's gonna change the angle of the blade. With this I can adjust it without the angle changing, you know. Yeah. Okay, that takes care of that bit. I mean, this project is starting to have too many bits, but actually not that far off from finish. I just gotta mount the blade, then copy this part on the other side as well, including the blade, and something to cover up the middle section. And that's about it, I think. Oh yeah, we also have to add some reinforcement to the red part as well, because I'm pretty sure that guy is just gonna fold into two once we put the thing on the tractor. But no, other than that, I don't think we need to add anything else as of right now. I'm not really sure. Blade next. I got these short pieces, weld them on the plate, and I'm only gonna use 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to mount the blade itself. I don't think I need to do all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't need to do all 6. 4 is fine. Man, my I-beam counterweight won't be able to counter that. Do have like a piece of 10mm as well. Maybe we should put that as the rear cutting disc. It's a bit less heavy, I suppose. I mean, the rear blade doesn't really need to cut into the ground itself, right? It just smooths out whatever the first blade is doing. Maybe it's not necessary. This thing is just so heavy. Oh, but this is S235. Yeah. That's not gonna actually work very well. 355 is better. Wish I had my Beak Milwaukee right about now. They actually sent me a message that they shipped out the tool today. So it's probably gonna arrive tomorrow or the day after. You're braking like Beto. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this thing is gonna tip over. It's kind of starting to get weird now. Dude, if that thing flips over, it's gonna launch all that material like a catapult. I'm gonna wait for that part. I was kind of curious what was making that sizzling sound. Man, look at that. This log is so soaked up with oil that it's just kind of cooking off. Like that. I think that's pretty crazy. Sort of like sort of like frying eggs. Okay. Now as the blade wears away, I can just undo the nuts, put the blade that way until I run out of blade, basically. But personally, I think I'm never gonna even reach there, even during my entire lifetime. But yeah, I think this part came out pretty okay. At the moment, I'm not gonna sharpen the cutting edge. The one in the picture didn't have the cutting edge sharpened as well. It was rectangular like this one is right now. So maybe that's not really important. Perhaps the other one is a bit more important, but you know, this doesn't really need to. This doesn't cut into the ground. The other one actually does somewhat. So maybe I'm gonna sharpen the other blade. Not really sure at the moment. But yeah, let's just kind of keep going here. We don't have a lot left to do. I need to flip this guy around now so I can work on the other side. Kommer oikeesti easy läheb. If I lose my counterweight, this thing is gonna drop down pretty fast. Just not. This thing is starting to resemble that box grader thing, right? Right? It's starting to look like a box now. We just need to add the walls. Stop burning my pillow away, bro. I have a couple of options here. I sadly can't use the big plate which I have on the pile over there. It's not wide enough. This thing needs to be 2 meters, but that's 1.5. So that's not gonna work. Do have that one piece of 200mm plate. I could add that all the way, but it's gonna leave stupid caps, cap up top and cap at the bottom, so dirt can get inside or bypass the thing entirely somewhat. Luckily I do have a 6mm blade as well, and that's 150. I figured maybe cut a couple of pieces and don't weld it on top, but rather between the posts. That way That way I can almost cover up the area. It's like a couple of centimeters missing there. Maybe I can leave the gap at the bottom. Technically, it should be fine. Kinda suck that this guy can't cut 15 millimeters. 115 millimeters. It's just shy of that. It's like 140 or something. 140 is not a standard profile though. I think that's a pretty solid option. Should work pretty good. Okay. You know what they say. That takes care of that bit. Oh, by the way, the second string broke as well. But the rebar wire, man, that thing is amazing. It lasts for an entire month before you need to replace it. You can bend it all over. It's very bendy. But got that stupid gap there now. Maybe it's not a problem. The dirt will get stuck there and probably it will prevent like a barrier so new dirt wouldn't go through. But maybe we can add something there. Not sure. It would be great to close it off. Quickly gonna check if maybe we can add something there. Like a piece of 15 something would work there pretty good. Like that. Yeah, I think that will work pretty good. Look at that. Just like the slipper on the Cinderella dude. Don't you judge me, guys. These days everything possible. that's pretty cute. Man, look at this thing. It's not box grader anymore. It's starting to look more like a, I don't know, like a box demolitioner or something like that. We shall name it Kill Boxer. Or rather, Kill Grader. Man, that's perfect. Gonna weld that crap somewhere later. Yeah, I think that part down there is kind of unnecessarily thick. It's like a bulldozer blade at this point. It's not really like a grader anymore. And this type of thickness is what Joseph, I think, has. Basically, right? Something 270 millimeters. Wow. Yeah, here. Wow, actually, Joseph's a big boy. Look at that. Half a meter of thickness at the bottom. My god, I thought this guy can't compete. Already had like a perfect choke lined up and all. I just kind of imagine that Joseph's a pussy. I mean, look at that. Only 20 centimeters. Wow, what a pussy. Look at that. Nance Pants should have been in charge of the Soviet bulldozer factory plant thing. Just imagine, man. Not a single bulldozer would have left the plant. They all would have sunk through the bedrock or something. But no, I think that part came out pretty okay. Weight wise not so much, but strength wise got some milk teddy. Basically there's like only do more things that I need to do. I need to install the side skirts and then reinforce the red part. Now I think the side skirts are actually very important because they make sure that the blade doesn't like cut into the ground, right? It needs to grade or slide along the ground, smoothing everything out in the meantime. The sides are very important. They need to prevent the blade from cutting into the ground actually. But they probably don't need to be like super heavy duty. However, the bottom part perhaps need to be like a bit thicker. Now the one in the picture, which I'm basing off my design here. Now here we can see like something at the bottom. I mean, the picture is very boring. Give me like a better picture. Freaking internet. Why is my workshop like a bunker? Okay, there we go. But I'm not really sure what the crap that is. That looks like nothing, right? Bro, this will sink into the ground with this setup 100%. I need something wider so the edge of the box won't go underground. It needs to slide, I think. The sucky part is that I don't have blade for the sides, but maybe we can get it from somewhere. Okay. Actually, I have option. I could use that round circle thing. You know, this thing over here. And it's actually 10 millimeters, it's not 15. So I could chop this guy up into a couple of pieces. I can get to 2, even 3, maybe 4 pieces from here. But no, I don't want to do that, honestly. This is a nice cover blade and I figured I might need this in the future if I want to do like a rainwater collection well. That would be a perfect cover for that well, right? Something that won't rot away. And nobody will be able to lift it by hand anyway. By pure chance though, I seem to have like a square meter of 5mm blade. Something I had no idea I even had. Right here. So this is a square meter of some blade and I can get my 2 pieces from here. But you know, the thickness, like I said, 5, maybe not the best. However, we could just kind of beef it up, you know. Shouldn't be a problem for the side skirts. They don't take bulk of the load anyway. I think adding the side skirts is best done on the ground, on level surface. So I need to put this guy flat with the ground, but first I figured I want to add a couple of pieces of reinforcement going from there to there. Right now, from the center, only these two hold the entire bottom part in place, right? And that part might just break if we hit a rock at the speed of sound, for example. So I'm gonna add something there as well. By the way, guys, the duel just arrived. The guy dropped it off so fast. I just ordered it yesterday. Wow. Get the knock with Makita, right? Milwaukee is coming. Woo! So red. Wait, what? Just FYI, I hate tool bags. No, I prefer my tools arrive in Ziploc bags. You know, something you can kind of wrap up and throw away. That piece of crap will... Well, I'm not going to use it anymore once I take the tool out, and then it's going to take up space. Plus, that thing won't fit in the garbage bag. But, whatever. Who even needs that? This is the thing we need. What am I supposed to do with this thing? Build a cat house out of it or something? Oh, look at this boy. It's like Christmas. What do you want? I don't need that. I'm guessing that's the chip collector. Much like the Makita has. But this thing is actually made out of metal, I think. Or... oh, that's plastic. I think this will be a very useful tool. I wonder how much the blades cost. Probably more than a tool. We need to test this guy out. Do I need to add more sockets to this blade? Look at that, I'm completely out. It makes the same angry noise as the Evolution saw. Dude, I already love it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Andrew actually has the same tool. At least I remember he had something like this. I also remember he complained that it kind of got very crooked, but that turned out to be like a bad blade. It's like cutting butter. That was so fast. Totally worth it. Totally worth the 550 euros plus free shipping. No, this was a good price to get this guy. The original retailing price for this guy is 800 plus something. I even saw one place selling it for 1 grand. I mean, what? Yeah, I don't think they're gonna move any inventory with that price. 500 seems a lot better. And just like 5 seconds ago I was debating how I'm gonna cut this guy up. I mean, I do have the battery operated Makita Dude, which will cut 5mm, but it's still gonna take like multiple batteries and forever. Then I also debated maybe the Oxy setup, but dude, I think even that guy is not as fast as the Milwaukee, right? The Milwaukee will go through this like butter. I can wait until I can test it out. I guess I also have the plasma option, because my plasma will do a maximum of, I would say, like 6mm. It will do more, but then the cut gets like weird. Kind of resembles like a snake. It's not a straight cut anymore. But it will definitely do 5. However, that's kind of slow as well. Plus I need to crank up the stupid compressor that needs to go on all the time. I kind of don't like that. That's why I don't really use compressor tools too much, because I don't want to use I don't want to use the compressor and then something else at the same time. I don't have the power for that. I'm just gonna start tripping breakers. I can only choose one tool at a time, basically. Kind of sucks that way, but you can't really do much about it. What the sh? What did they got up? This one? Oh, never mind. And span doesn't mess up. I don't have a good follow-up joke to that. Sorry. I'm gonna pull both the blades off. I actually need to cut them shorter. They're a bit too long right now. Once we put the side walls, the blades are not gonna fit anymore. Now I showed a picture of this to Steve and he said that looks like a medieval weapon of the sorts. The fact of the matter is that I can still move it by hand. Then it's not that heavy. You guys remember the Volvo Raptor build? I thought that guy was so super heavy that Volvo would just break in half. But no. Although it looked heavy, Janmar pulled it out of the workshop without any issues. And Volvo can handle it also. Very stable. Täpselt. Noh, ta võiks olla mingi 10 milli mõlemalt poolt seega. I just need enough room for welding. Wow. No effort whatsoever. Beautifully clean cut as well, look at that. $15mm, guys, just like that. Love it. BRC. Isn't that China? There is actually like a battery version of the same tool as well. And from the store where I bought this guy from, that one was like $1,100 bucks, so 2 times more than this. but inside the workshop, this is like the preferred option, definitely. If you do off-grid work, if you don't have like outlet anywhere, this requires 16 amps, by the way. Then you're better off with a battery version, but inside workshop, this is the way to go. What the kurat, kuhu see läheb? Look at that. That looks about the safest thing ever.
Now when using dry cut saws, then don't try to push them too hard. Let the saw do its work. If you push it too hard, then that invites like excessive heat, which will break down the blade faster, and that kind of sucks.
kurat, sa pidid ju veel panema selle ka alla ju. Hakka keevitama kohe noh. Pohhui noh. I forgot to add that sliding part. This is what happens if Ants Pants gets into the mood. Mistakes just spawn out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, I also kind of fallen in love with these discs. They are slow as heck, yes, but you gotta appreciate the fact that the disc doesn't get smaller, right? That's actually like a huge thing. Kuradi spot weld'i sa tegid sinna. But I've been kind of thinking, what are we gonna use as skis? It has to be something that doesn't sink into the ground so easily, right? The thing in the picture, you said some type of a round thing, not too wide even. Maybe we can go with something similar. Maybe I have something here in my round department. Only pipes, man. Ooh! And that's a bit much, maybe. 60 mil. Nope. Might need that. What is that? What the crap is this doing here? Man. Oh, this was the do. Man, I forgot. Look at that. I have one more. I could have put it here. Made it even. What? What an idiot! Wish I had some type of round stock that is not stupidly wide. This might work, but it's a pipe. Maybe a flat piece of steel. Put that there, bend that upwards so it doesn't dig into the ground. Might actually work pretty good, I guess. But I only have one piece. Yeah, this is my last piece of that piece. Maybe I can cut it in half. Get a couple of smaller pieces instead. And there's an idea. Yeah, I'm not really sure at the moment. Does the
Does the side skirt need to be exactly on the same level as the blade? Does it need to be higher? Does it need to be lower? I'm gonna ask my chica, maybe she knows. Should be a pretty easy question, right? On the box grader, does the side panels need to be on the same level as the cutting blade? Not curring blade, bro. Kuradi fat finger fatsõna. Cutting blade. Or do they need to be higher or lower? Let's see what the chick has to say. The side panels of a box grader do not need to be at the exact same level as the cutting blades. In fact, they are designed to act as skids that sit on the ground to control the depth of cut. For most grading or smoothing tasks, the side panels act as runners, while the front and rear blades are adjusted to slightly sit below the side panels to dig into the ground. Okay. Okay, so this guy needs to be slightly higher than the cutting discs, blades. Yeah, set the cutting blades slightly lower than the side panels. That's actually, I think that actually plays out pretty well.
I was kind of trying to figure out how I'm gonna weld that cap shut. Maybe I just kind of lift it up slightly so I could nicely weld that, and then I have that little blade there.
Is that good enough? 20 millimeters. Dude, I think that's actually pretty good. I mean, the jig said slightly, right? That sounds about 20 millimeters to me, bro.
Chick agrees, look at that.
What, you can't see because I'm moving the camera too fast? Well, look closer, bro.
Honestly, I can't believe how well this panel actually played out. Like I said, I had no idea that I even had that. And so far I haven't bought anything for this project. And I think we can finish it without buying anything as well. I may even have paint for it. Told you guys I'm making a box. Yes guys, there's like a little hole at the bottom so rainwater can get out, if you're curious. I think this side is pretty good. Let's go do the other side. I wonder why this smells like apples. Maybe you guys know. Okay. I think we don't need to say it, but that takes care of that bit. When does the retirement age start, bro? Whatever. I think I'm never gonna get there anyway. But two more things, guys. I need to brace this guy with that guy and then cover up all the crappy welds with some nice paint. What? By the way, we're almost out of paint. I mean welding, guys. But we should be able to make the braces nicely. And we definitely should have some paint. Essentially, I want to have bracings on like 3 spots. I think that steel is me. I mean, it looks like 8mm thick and maybe like 50mm wide. So that's why I said me. But it may hold actually. However, I want to have the bracing piece from the, the tractor hookup point directly. And same on the other side, and also from up top. Maybe. Yeah, look at that. Almost perfect length and all. Dude, that will brace everything. The freaking I-beam is bigger than the tractor mount. We know, does it taste wrong? Dude, that's so good. Ooh. Welcome to the raw paint job. You're part of the crew now. nice. I mean, cutting corners with that guy is so good, so amazing, totally worth it. But ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we are finished. I don't think we need to add anything else. Yeah, throw a bit of paint on it and go test it out basically. If you guys are curious, then this took me about, well, I'm on my third day at the moment. It's not quite finished yet. But yeah, if I paint it as well today, then exactly 3 days. I think not bad. Not bad at all. Compared to the stupid Volvo Grappler that we built, man, that took like 2 weeks. That was really annoying. This was manageable. And you know, I think it's pretty strong as well. Maybe a bit too strong. I don't see this guy bending or folding, or maybe except for this part. This seems like a bunch of crap. If you ask me, I think that's only like 2 millimeters. That is just shit. That is so bad. If that breaks, then we can rebuild that part pretty easily, right? At least this section is pretty much, you know, Joseph level attachment at this point, I would say. I can't wait to try it out. Maybe we can try it out tomorrow. Kind of depends if the paint dries up. But yeah, I did not buy any materials for this. Everything came out of my own stock. I was kind of disappointed that I only got to use the red part. I was hoping to use more of that scrap nonsense I had back there. But you know, nothing really would suit very well, I guess. And I didn't want to make it too weird, you know, weld a bunch of different things together. Luckily I had plentiful of steel in order to finish the build. And consumables. Already, one tank was already empty, so this is almost empty as well. 2 tanks of gasoline. Not gasoline, the other gas. And I'm kind of curious how much wire do I have left, because dude, I was pretty sure I'm gonna run out like yesterday. Basically like there. I could weld a bit more. Wow, actually pretty good. I think it's kind of crazy that I'm using a, well, this is like a 300 euro or something welder. It's not professional or anything like that, but I'm building so large projects with it, and it's not like crapping out on me, you know. I think that's pretty impressive that you can build what I'm building. For example, the log grappler on the Volvo. Dude, we built that thing with this guy as well. I think that's pretty crazy. I think let's do like a quick time lapse. I'm gonna throw some paint on the guy, then do a bunch of that weighting. And well, actually I'm gonna go pick up a little bit of steel tomorrow. Maybe I'm gonna grab you guys along. Not for any specific project. I was just kind of low on a couple of items, so I'm just gonna do that part. But yeah, let's do the paint job, then get it out of the workshop, put it on the tractor and see what it does. And I think I'm gonna use the old blue actually. And currently the new blue is kind of badly set up for this guy. But basically it doesn't have like a top link, so that's that. And those things are incorrect. They need to be changed out. I don't know what the guy was thinking installing these here. These don't make any sense at all. And yeah, at the bottom I have like nowhere to connect anything, so I need to install those things that go there. I think I even have those. That's the thing, right? That should be the thing. But no, this is gonna bend. Maybe that doesn't matter. So I think I'm gonna use the old blue for this testing purpose at the moment. That guy should be pretty much ready to go. Although the top link, the cylinder that guy has, it's a bit wobbly. The eye is extremely worn down. Maybe that's gonna be a problem. But I guess we'll see. Oh, and as for color choice, I only have 2 options. We can either go blue or red. I have 3 of each. Half empty, by the way. I think I'm gonna go with red. Another red. Yeah, red works. me. Sometimes it pisses me off that I need to go and spend half a day just because I need to buy food for everything. And look at this weather. It's so beautiful and I have to be somewhere over there. Lame. Bought some food for the sawmill as well. Gotta do that soon. This Bobcat can hold this guy, I mean that guy, without losing balance. Then it's not that heavy. Come on, you leaky bastard. Time to do some real work. None of that feeding the roller that nonsense anymore. Dude, I hope it's not too high. That guy actually seems pretty high. Man, I gotta go see if I even have bins for this sub. I haven't used any 3-point hitch attachment on the old Blue for years and years now. Only the trailer. Come on, bin department, give me a solution. Might also work. Well, that works pretty good. Oh, whatever the crap this is, works pretty good as well. Excellent. I hate this part. Without two people, this is just nonsense. Dude, look at that! Someone broke my paint shop. Look at that. Old Blue has a new attachment. Wow. It's actually pretty cool. That's the maximum of the lift though. That may be a bit of a problem, especially if going like uphill. But I think I'm not gonna adjust the height at the moment. Looks like I have plenty of room to actually adjust the height here. These are on their lowest setting at the moment, but then again I haven't moved these guys for years. Well, actually never, so they'll probably be unstuck. But yeah, I think we can test this guy out now. I'm gonna try to grade the area which we cleared with Joseph. I think I need, well, clearly I need to go over it several times, right? One pass will not fix the problem. But I think it's gonna work. Should work pretty good actually, I hope. Man, stop bitching here. I have more important things that I need to do. Okay. actually working pretty good. I like how it's dragging the root nonsense with it as well. I mean, obviously I have to go over it several times, but dude, this actually felt pretty good. Yeah, I can get rid of the roots this way as well, right? At least the ones which are just kind of on the ground. I can drag it behind and then dump it, I don't know, somewhere, whatever. I think this is a pretty cool attachment. Only thing that I noticed is that I probably can't go uphill very well with the old Plio. Even going downhill, it required quite a bit of torque. So probably I need to put this guy on the new Plio because that guy weighs like a ton more. This is 2.6 tons, that guy is 3.8 tons, so a lot more weight there. That will help out. But so far I kind of like it. Actually, quite a lot. I really like that the spikes are taking like stuff like this with it. I don't need to hand pick them out, you know, from the ground anymore. I think that's pretty cool. Man, that's really cool. Look at this. I'm gonna go over it a couple of more times. It's like super smooth. Wow. I'm really glad I built that thing. Works very well. Now this is something that Supermom can already mow, you know. There are a couple of roots which are still stuck inside the ground. I mean, those just need to be cut down with something. But you know, all the loose stuff, the spikes are picking all the loose stuff up and it's dragging it to somewhere where I can dump it off. Wish I knew I still had one spike, you know, on a different spot. I would have installed that as well. But no, this is fine. This is fine, totally fine. Plus, I don't think the old Blue is capable of bending anything there. It was just spin the wheels. Those spikes are extremely strong. And on the press, we were unable to bend that thing. And that's an 8-ton press. Bro, this guy won't be able to make that much force. No sir. I think this bracket will break before the spike will bend. I wonder if I can use the other side as it's like a bulldozer blade. And I can tilt the whole thing like that, right? And then maybe use this side as a pushing plate. That would be kinda useful, I guess. But dude, it's doing such a great job. Look at that. Everything's pretty flat. I really like this attachment. This was a good build, definitely. Feels like it's going deep. Oh. Not really sure. Oh, it's rebar to me. Guys, stop fooling around. Missing all the action. Look at this crap. It works as a blue bulldozer as well. Siinä lentäisi sitä traktoria. Look at that, guys. Man, he's crap attachment. there we go. Another successful mission. You know what, I think this part actually came out pretty good. And there's a lot of those stuff pointing out of the ground, but that needs to be cut off. Those are pretty deep, I guess. Nice little open area now. Should be mowable as well. You know, I think last year, about the same time, we did something similar, right? Over there. You guys remember this area, right? You know, when we were cleaning up the topsoil piles inside the forest beforehand, doing the forest road, which was a total nightmare, by the way, but I absolutely love that thing now. That is so good. No more mud business on the forest road. That is so good. But yeah, this area, this was our last year's goal, I guess. And I kind of honed it over with Janmar eventually, because Joseph couldn't really do like a smooth finish. And it's still not like perfect. There are still some potholes here and there, but overall this is totally mowable. Last year Superman mowed or maintained this area as well, no problem whatsoever. So well, if you compare that what we did today to this surface, then that's like 10 times better, no doubt. And all in all, I'm just really happy that I have like a proper grading attachment now, and I'm really glad I built it instead of buying it, because well, this is a 2 meter wide attachment that I built, and this size was about $1,100 on their website. So I saved quite a bit of money on this project, without a doubt. I mean, I didn't buy any material, I already had everything. All in all, I guess, out of pocket, I paid $120 for the gas and 5 kilos of welding wire, which was about $25. So not even $150 for this build, and that's a win in my book. But in the future, I definitely want to use this tractor instead of the old Plio, if I'm planning to use that attachment, because like I said, this guy weighs about over a ton more, so that's gonna help out. And plus the clutch on this dude doesn't slip if the pulling gets hard. However, in order to get this tractor ready for that attachment, I definitely need to do some upgrades. Right, like I already explained, those need to go. Plus I need to get a top link for it as well, but it needs to be hydraulically controlled, because I think that attachment is pretty useless if you have like a static top link, and especially if you're going like uphill or downhill, you need to constantly adjust the top link, so the box grader would be kind of as level as possible with the ground in its current setting. Definitely don't want a static arm there. No. 100% this guy. We need to use this. Maybe add like a front counterweight as well. That might help. And technically the old Plio can handle it as well, as you guys just saw. But the loader frame is kind of an issue. It just makes the tractor so long, and in tight spaces you're just gonna ram into everything. Plus I explained the slippery clutch situation, and also kind of lack of power, I would say. Right now it doesn't really matter that much because it's relatively cold still, nice cold wind. That will cool the engine down nicely, but during hot summer days, bro, that engine will just evaporate. That's not gonna work. But anyway guys, another story has ended. I'm gonna wrap this one up and get to work on the next thing. May have something to do with that guy over there, and maybe these stumps, but I'm not sure. That guy over there is kind of bitching about the flat tire. Maybe I should do something about it. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go and end the video. Bye bye.